Last night, I had a dream. I found myself in a desert called Cyberland. It was hot. My canteen had sprung a leak, and I was thirsty. Out of the abyss walked a cow, Elsie. I asked if she had anything to drink. She said, "I'm forbidden to produce milk. In Cyberland, we only drink Diet Coke, Diet Coke, Diet Coke, Diet Coke, Diet Coke." She said, "Only thing to do is jump over the moon. They've closed everything real down, like barns and troughs and performance spaces, and replaced it all with lies and rules and virtual life, 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 life. But there is a way out."
Welcome to the amazing Reverend Grace's March 22 sermon. A little bit of Maureen to entice you to have a leap of faith this month.
Gotta get out of here! It's like I'm being tied to the hood of a yellow rental truck, being packed in with fertilizer and fuel oil, pushed over a cliff by a suicidal Mickey Mouse. I've got to find a way to jump over the moon.
Although it wasn't a leap year this year, when it comes around again, you will all have faith again.
A little bulldog entered. His name, we have learned, was Benny. And although he once had principles, he abandoned them to live as a lapdog to a wealthy daughter of the revolution. A 1, 2, 3, that's bull, he said. Ever since the cat took up the fiddle, that cow's been jumpy. The dish and the spoon were evicted from the table and eloped. She's had trouble with her milk and that moon ever since. Maybe it's a female thing. 'Cause who wanna leave Cyberland anyway? Walls ain't so bad. The dish and the spoon, for instance, they're down on their luck. They come knocking on my doghouse door and I say, "Not in my backyard, utensils. Go back to China." Beady bong. "The only way out is up," Elsie whispered to me. "A leap of faith." Still thirsty. Parched, 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 parched. Have some milk. And I lowered myself beneath her swollen udder, and I sucked the sweetest milk I had ever tasted. "Climb on board," she said. And as the harvest moon rose over Cyberland, we reared back. We sprang into a gallop, leaping out of orbit. I awoke singing. Jump. Only thing to do is jump over the moon. Only thing to do is jump over the moon. Over the moon. Over
the... Welcome, one, welcome all, to the amazing Reverend Grace, along with Sister Maureen. encouraging us to have a little faith in the animal kingdom, in the human race, human kindness, and indeed the world in these very troubled times. To come to you this week on this wonderful marching ahead into almost the springtime, coming out of a February month that was interesting. I mean, some political choices were not what I would have imagined from certain fields of certain countries, but they made their choices. They said their words. They decided upon doing one thing or another. Far be it from the reaches of my control. However, my words will be listened to by many congregations around the world, and indeed, in the troubled, war-torn countries, shall hear some of these hopeful prayers and wise words from a tired Reverend who gets a little upset to see that the human race still goes through such troublesome times. Did we learn nothing from World War I or World War II? Through a lack of communication, most of those wars were started. Nowadays, with the art of telephonetic devices, along with your laptop computers or your broadbands, or indeed carrier pigeons or ink blotters and quills, air mail or seafaring mail to get from one country to another, to talk, to communicate, to realize it's 2022, not 1902. And upon those words, I wisely say to all men, women, or indifferent species upon this planet, you would all better start being a little nicer to one another. And if you continue with my democracy head on now, and a little liberation, if those wise words that Stanislavski, the great Russian impresario, used the wordings, the great if you choose turmoil and to tear up the lands, what do you achieve by it? Really, what do you achieve? But far be it beyond the reaches of the political stages from the gentlemen of the clergy. But hopefully our prayers, our thoughts, and our peace talks will help country to country chill the fuck out. And also people who are on their pedal stools to be just brought down a peg or two, thinking they're in a Victorian courtroom, or people that sit in an office or an executive position and talk to somebody of a lower standard of, how shall we put it, authority to their own. Don't be too harsh with one another, because karma is a bitch, as we know from our wonderful Hinduism and the likes of the Sikh traditions and the Eastern religions. Well, we don't want to play karma games forevermore, and we don't want to be too destructive. However, men and women and all species upon this planet, be you transgender or bisexual or of the Homo sapiens or the heteros, whatever you are, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother a lot of people these days. But we do still get angered by others' decisions. And it's very, very tough to listen to words that are different from our own and to be tolerant to words different from our own. However, we are, and we do. We listen and we learn what others think. It doesn't mean that they are right. It's just opinions of one culture to another. And we carry on. Our words, our ways are just as important as theirs. And they will learn our word as much as we will learn theirs. And you may decide you'll prefer somebody else's life. Or somebody else's ways of life, I should say. But each parent raises their child differently. Each household is very different from the other. Different generations bring different things to the table. And of course, through our infinite wisdom, if you're a millennial, you know, all of us are a mere 22 years old. Time didn't exist once upon a time. Many, 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 many moons ago. It was all just light, dark in the sky, until the Greeks evolved the old Pythagoras and all of the wonders of the clock and the numerology of the Roman numerals and what we developed from one part of the world's language to another to have our universal language of understanding, which really is English, to be honest. However, this I will say to you all, although time, once upon a time, didn't exist, it does today. And we have all the time in the world to make good of the world. Look to our weary planet that is fragile and a little burnt out in places, but also flourishes and has beauty of the bright lights in big cities and wonderful landscapes and the hills and valleys and everything that goes upon our wonderful landscape. But I would beg and plead with you all to just for 1 minute take a deep breath, count to 10. I know some people have suffered losses, but others haven't and still live their lives normally from the pain and suffering that you're going through. In the same respect of people that are very, very happy, realize that other people that are struggling need a little shoulder to cry on or a helping hand from now and then to get a level of understanding. But don't shove your words and your ways down other people's throats too much. I mean, if people want to listen, by all means listen, but don't think that it's a landlocked country. It isn't. This is still a free country. As long as my people are alive, and there are millions of my people, we will all continue to smile, to look at the bright sunshine in the sky, or have a cloudy day or two, or a little drizzle, and maybe a little bit of snow here and there, and we will enjoy our lives, and we will nurture our families and our friends and our work colleagues, and we will flourish our businesses, and good fortune wished upon us all, and good health and good wealth and well-being. But we are at loggerheads. We really are at loggerheads with a lot of different generations. And we all know that some of them are more mature generations who have given us their lives' worth and all of their knowledge and all of their understanding. And, you know, some of the older generations have vast wealth of knowledge that the younger generations will never know about because they're locked into their technical devices. But somewhere along the line, you have to communicate. Contact your mother if you don't see her, or your father, or your sister, or your brother, or your grandfather, or your grandmother, and give her a flower, or, you know, pick a few daisies in the park, or a nice bunch of roses, or a nice bottle of wine, or a nice baked cake, or something nice to just communicate and try to be happy whilst visiting your relatives. And a life lesson to you all. Sometimes it's better to not be where you are. And come the autumn, you'll be treated to a visit by a lovely kiss from the Spider-Woman for new generations to learn this intriguing tale.
When you feel you've gone to hell in a handbasket, and the world in which you dwell's no paradise,
I've some counsel I can give, you need but ask it. I'm so very glad to share this good advice. You've got to learn how not to be where you are. The more you face reality, the more you scar. So close your eyes and you'll become a movie star. Why must you stay where you are? You've got to learn how not to see what you've seen. The slice of hell you call your life is harsh and mean. So why not lie beside me on a movie screen? Why must you see what you see? And if you find that you land in jail, a little fantasy will not fail. It's just as simple as ABC. Come up here, lay with me, lay with me. You've got to learn how not to do what you've done. The pistol shot can't kill if you unload the gun. So build a palace where you're the Shah, and we'll embrace in that Shangri-La if you run away. Some matinee from where you are.
you've got to learn how where you are. The more you face, read, the more you face, read, the more you star, the more you scar. So close your eyes, close your eyes. A movie star.
Why must you stay
Where you are.
So why not lie beside me on a movie screen? Why must you see what you've seen?
And if you find that you land in jail, a little fantasy will not fail. It's just as simple as ABC.
Come on here, lay with me, play with me.
You've got to learn how not to do what you've done. The pistol shot can't kill if you unload the gun.
So build a palace where you're the Shah, and we'll embrace in that Shangri-La if you run away. Some matinee from where you are.
The wise words from the Latin quarters of our land, down in South America, and the kiss of the Spider-Woman. You will be seeing that show for the Halloween period of this year to give an insight into how tough the world can be and to teach our younger generations some of the ways of the world. Because not everybody is as nice as we are, and we're very nice. But for us good folk of the land who know what we're doing and are workers and are good and plentiful to flourish the land and get the good and best out of everybody, every once in a while, outside of the doom and gloom of the world, our hearts leap up, just as Max Sennett told us all those years ago. Good things happen when we see good things happening. It encourages us to also make good things happen.
Every time a cop falls falls down, my spirits soar. I'm in heaven when a flat foot hits the floor. Billy clubs and nightsticks make me feel happy as a newborn pup. 'Cause every time a cup falls down, my heart leaps up. I love it, I love it. Hit 'em on the head and jab 'em in the jaw. Everybody loves to stick it to the law. Get Lieutenant Clancy in the gut, and you'll overflow my cup. 'Cause every time a cup falls down, my heart leaps up.
How our opinions differ in the land, but somehow we will all get along by the Lord of this land and understand each other, learn to agree and learn to disagree, and agree to disagree sometimes is best. Oh, lovely.
Billy clubs and nightsticks make me feel happy as a newborn pup. 'Cause every time a cup falls down,
Our hearts leap up. Couldn't help but sing along there. Ah, marvelous. Brother Jerry there, writing his words for the lovely Robert Preston. And of course, the wonderful, wise words of our hearts leaping up through troubled times. And thank you for joining us on this Sunday sermon. And I don't speak to you all that often on the air, but it's always nice for the brethren, and having the Book of Mormon recently in the air, so the Church of the Mormons have had their fair share of wonderful words to share with the world in a modern land, which differs from some of the elders' opinions, but nevertheless wise and hilariously clad words do ensue for a wonderful and fragmented congregation in the wider demographic. But getting a modern audience to the church is always a joy to example and to enjoy and experience different ways. Again, each church is different, each religion is different. Each man, each boy, each lady, each girl, everyone is different. And that's what makes us what we are. A wonderful world. I also take a moment to reflect on some great losses. A dear old friend of mine, Mr. Christopher Collins, who was a wonderful man. I've not seen him in many, many years, and was a part of my early career on the boards of the early stages I trod upon before I joined the clergy. And I take a moment of just a little silence to reflect on anybody who's suffered loss recently, and of course for our many brethren and sisterhoods and brotherhoods who may be mourning. I know some of you are deeply at the moment. Take a moment for everybody who's no longer here. A little moment's silence. Now, whilst we learn through loss to really make the most of the time that we have upon this planet, because people's journey is very short. Some people's journeys go on for many, many years. But whilst we hear, why get downtrodden with life's woes and hardships. I mean, help when you can, be virtuous where you can, but don't let it all get you down too much, because if you can enjoy your life, I suggest you do, and get along with things. Pack up the old point of view, as Max Sennett would say, and get along and try to see the good in the world. There is still good and beauty and purity and love and happiness in this wide, vast landscape that we have. And for God's sake, and for my ears, will you all stop saying that you're all over the world? I get so angered by that. I mean, I know we have our moments of boredom, but Jesus, Mary and Joseph, I mean, look to all the things that you can do, nurture and teach or help or get a new job or occupy your mind without being downtrodden with creating narcissistic ways or too much anger, because it spreads like wildfire, you know that, and I don't want that. And you know, when your emotions shroud on me, I get downtrodden and angry and upset, and I know we all have to have emotions, but we all try to be happy. So my wish for you all is a little love and happiness and joy, and don't be too greedy in life. So many people are so greedy these days, and if you just get along and understand, some men and women and folk of the land will be richer than you. Some will be poorer, some will be healthy, some will be unhealthy, some will have children, some won't. It's as simple as that. Learn to understand the ways of the world. Don't care how old you are. Be you a child, be you an infant, be you a teenager or an old age pensioner or in your roaring 20s, learn the ways of the world and understand the different generations. Yes, some pass judgment, some prosecute, some defend, and in life we go through those same scenarios. Doesn't mean we'll all agree, because we won't, but it does mean that life goes on. And although some laws are very different from country to country, we start to teach and learn as we go along. So you understand that, and you forgive us for our sins and our trespasses. And I take a moment to do the Lord's Prayer now. If you'll all join me by clasping hands, getting on your knees for a moment, bow your heads and pray for the human race, because it's needed more than ever now. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive so many that trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now if you'll turn to hymn number 69, or as the French would say, 69, and indulge in a modern family's dinner table, just for a moment.
I joined the fallen legion with a saber in my hand and crawled across the desert with my belly in the sand, with men who loved their camels and their brandy, and I swear nobody dished, nobody swished when I was a fallen legionnaire. Would anyone like an hors d'oeuvre?
Oh, here, let me help. Mama? Papa?
Oh, what adorable dishes. Are these youngsters playing together?
They look like Greeks.
Oh, what lovely dishes. They're so delicate and frail. Mine are naked people. I believe they're only male. Oops, I think they're playing some exotic little game.
Oops, I think that leapfrog is its name. Leapfrog. My mother, the wife of my father, begs your forgiveness. She shouldn't be delayed much longer.
This is even worse than I feared. The son is strange, the father is weird. To meet the wife, I'm actually afraid. I prefer that and remain an old maid.
You know, my wife and I are a devoted couple. My son knows I love him, and to what extremes, but my wife, I love her like an animal.
Nibbles, anyone?
It's appalling to confess. And when laws are a mess. She's a prude, he's a prick, she's a pill, he's a big so cease for you, Papa.
I try to say evil, but if I find it, a son is strange, the man
And when laws are a mess.
And all of our house mothers and our families alike can learn all of our voices will be heard. God bless us, each and every one of us. I leave you this week with a nice little tune to hopefully brighten your spirits and to encourage you to, have a little thought process for those that aren't always by our sides. But if we're going a little further afield on our journeys of life, you're only a stone's throw away, or a good friend or relative is always by our sides to guide us where we can, as best we can, wherever we go. And with there being so many of us in the world, it's to have some alone time, of course, for thought and prayer and for moments of meditation. But when we're in need of company, I think this tune will lift your spirits. A lovely hymn from Mother Ethel. Mother Merman. Glorious creation she was.
Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. We may not go far, but sure as a star, wherever we are, it's together. Wherever I go, I know he goes. Wherever I go, I know she goes. No fits, no fights, no feuds, and no egos. Amigos, together. Through thick and through thin, all out or all in. And whether it's wind, place, or show, with you for me and me for you, we'll muddle through whatever we do together, wherever we go. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. Wherever we sleep, if prices are steep,
We'll always sleep cheaper together.
whatever the boat I row, you row.
A duo,
Whatever the row I hoe, you hoe. A trio, and any I owe you owe me, oh no, you owe, no, we owe together. We all take the bow, including the cow.
the wonderful words there of togetherness. And although we may disagree, as I said before, try to be together wherever we go. Thank you for tuning in this week to listen on our Sunday sermon. I give you all blessings to be nice to one another. Let's hope, hey? And also my prayers and thoughts for those struggling in the East, and of course around the globe, and here at home. Let's make for a better world. God bless you all. Until April, when all the fools come out to play, I bid you a wonderful March and a blooming spring where all the flowers and sunshine comes into the sky. God bless you all. Take care now. Have a lovely Sunday. You can be gay and wild and bonny and blithe today. And until next time, stay safe. Look after one another. And most importantly, look after yourselves. And as we all spring into step this year, be careful for the spirits, because there's a zapping going on out there, and those of you that understand the spiritual plane will know to beware of the jitterbug. Take care now. A little something modern here for you all in the 80s spirit. Bye-bye for now, folks. God bless us, each and every one of us.